There is much in you, High Marshal, that reminds me of First Captain Sigismund as I knew him.
You do me a great honor, Lord.
That was not my intent, Gilliman said. To you, he is a legend, perhaps even an idol. I knew him as a man, impetuous and flawed as all men are. Helbrecht's jaw tightened, but he said nothing in response. A fine soldier, a great leader of men, yet despite all that, he was guided at times by his own will and wants. He erred in that, perhaps.
As you think I err now.
I do, Gilliman said plainly. I bring you reinforcements, men and materials that will enable you to rise to answer the challenges laid before us. Now, more than ever, I require people of vision and insight, those who can think on their feet, but who can appreciate the grander challenges we face, those who can look at the galaxy and take stock of what must be done.
I do that every single day, Lord Regent,
Hilbrick said.
Where I command it, hosts move to answer. There are none more numerous nor more dedicated amongst all the brotherhoods of the Adeptus Astartes. You bring many warriors, like the legions of old, so they claim. Yet, what are they next to the oath-sworn knights of the Black Templars? When these reinforcements you speak of are inducted into our ranks, they shall be trained as befits warriors of the Eternal Crusade. They shall burn with the light of the Emperor and carry it back to the dark places. Whether that is where you suggest, or whether it lies in claiming the Imperium's due from the beast.
There'll be no convincing you, Gilliman rumbled. It was no easy thing to bear the weight of a demigod's displeasure. Helbrecht could feel the scrutiny upon his skin like ball lighting. He leant into the discomfort of it. He braced himself with the judgment of the divine.
There will not.
The Primarch said nothing. Instead, he strode past Helbrecht to stand before the graven glass of the observation cupola. He stared out at the tormented void, at the ships as they milled about their formations, filling the rendezvous point with constant motion, jostling for primacy as they sought proximity to their liege lord. He turned and regarded Helbrecht with sad, all too human eyes. Do you know the providence of the blade that you carry, High Marshal?
Of course I do,
Helbrecht began to say, but the Primarch ignored him and continued on. It was forged from the shards of my brother's own blade when he found our father's broken body. When he saw what Horus had done to him, he knew despair. He knew what it meant to fail, the very reason for your existence. Everything in him understood the stakes that we faced, and the price of defeat. He shook his head. And there was defeat, even in victory. My brother, Rogel Dorn, a man of stone, broke his sword over his knee. He felt unworthy of wielding his weapon, knowing it had never had the chance to be raised in defense of our father. Not when it truly mattered. Hilbrick swallowed.
I know this, my lord. It is as holy writ. I could recite it myself.
Yet you did not live it, High Marshal. You did not see a brother broken by loss and self-castrated by despair. Nor did you have to watch a son try, in vain, to elevate his father's mood. It was your founder, First Captain Sigismund, who gathered up those shards and allowed them to be forged into the blade which you carry, to transmute base mourning into golden promise, like the amethysts of old Terra. Because duty bears more weight than any scrap of personal glory or desire. There was a quiver in the demigod's voice, rife with mortal emotion, though amplified, exalted to a truly post-human level. Remember that, High Marshal. Remember what can be gained by choosing duty over the base whims of an ego bruised by failure after failure. He looked at Helbrecht, nodded once, and then walked past him and out of the doors. Helbrecht did not speak for many minutes. He drew his blade again and went upon his knees, the tip of it pressed into the stone of the floor. His lips moved in a constant prayer, and his hands tightened about the hilt. "My lord?" asked a wavering voice. Centuel stood there, wide-eyed and staring. Helbrecht stood reluctantly and stalked forward. For a moment, the serf almost flinched from his lord's path, so wrathful had it become, like a wounded storm.
"Gather my marshals,"
Helbrecht growled.
"They will have crusade assignments."
Centuel hesitated. "The muster is over, lord?"
"The muster is over,"
Helbrecht agreed.
"The Imperium calls for aid, and we shall answer."
He did not look back as he strode from the chamber, still clinging to his blade.
"We shall not be found wanting in our duty."